So I applied to work with one of the biggest creators on YouTube. It's Airrack. I went through the entire hiring process, the application, the interview, the editing test, and I already got their final feedback. So I know a lot of editors never even apply to creators like Airrack because they think their English is not good enough. The interview will be like something stressful, or the competition is just impossible. So after going through it myself, I realized that it's much easier than people even can imagine. Unfortunately, I can show you a trial because I signed an NDA, but hopefully I can show you the whole entire process and how actually looks like. It all started about a month ago when I saw on X that Airrack's team was looking for an editor. So I clicked the link and filled out the application. Honestly, most of it was pretty standard, They asked for my portfolio, time zone, location, and some recent work. But there was one funny part. So they asked everyone to record a short video talking about their favorite pizza. The catch? You had to film it in your kitchen with a white t-shirt and even wear your cap backwards. Hi, outside of the work, I'm a big fan of pizza. So I think honestly it was a little wired, but I guess it was their way to checking if people, actually read the instructions. I just recorded the video and submitted everything. And honestly, I didn't even expect anything. I just thinking, so it's like good experience and that's all. And literally a few weeks later, I got an email inviting me to an interview. It was like Google meeting. So let me talk more about the interview. I wasn't nervous, really, just zero stress. So the interview lasted about 15 minutes, about something like that, 15-16 minutes. Basically, they asked me about my interaction, editing experience, the hardest project that I'm working on, and the most interesting part, how I would handle different situations. So basically, it's like pretty standard interview questions. They said they're looking for, like storytelling position. It's like not people who can make like craziest flash effects, not people who know the most craziest effects. Storytelling, at my surprise, came first. So another thing I want to say, if you're worried about your English, don't be. So English isn't my native language, and honestly my English isn't perfect, but the interview felt like completely normal conversation. They just want to understand how I think, that I'm a real person, how I solve the problems, and exactly what kind of person I am. So if you're avoiding the opportunities because your English isn't perfect, screw it, apply anyway. So the most interesting part that after the interview they sent me test video, it's like trial video editing test. I had 72 hours to create 3 minutes video opening segment for a large video. Of course, and unfortunately, I can't talk about project because I signed the NDA. I want to respect that. So I won't show you the edit process or discuss any confidential details. What I can talk about, it's, just my approach. I finished everything about in a day and a half. So before I even opened it in Premiere Pro, I already knew one thing. I didn't want to impress them with, any flashy effects. I wanted them to remember the story. So the first thing I did was obviously organize all the footages. Like always, I create a multicam sequence and started thinking about the narratives before making any edits. After that, I focused on pacing, storytelling, sound design, and all that small details that make a video feel, alive. So my goal wasn't just to cut the clips together, so it was to build a story that people would actually want to keep watching. But honestly, the biggest thing wasn't my editing. It was my mindset. I never thought if I don't get the job, my career is freaking over. Or, this is my only chance at life, that's all. So instead I just, told myself this is a really great opportunity and a good experience. If it works out, it's amazing. If not, I'll still learn something. So because of that, I've never felt stress. I wasn't rushing and I wasn't overthinking about every decisions. I just enjoyed the whole entire process of video editing with the storytelling. And I actually think that helped me edit better. So, the main reason why I'm making that video isn't to talk about Airrack. It's to show what the whole entire hiring process looks like when you apply to work with some of the biggest creators on YouTube. So I think a lot of editors just, reject themselves before then even apply. So they assume they aren't good enough, that their portfolio isn't perfect, that their English isn't good enough, or, just someone else will always be better. But honestly, let them decide. Don't reject yourself before they do. So the worst thing that can happen is you gain experience. The best thing that can happen, well, it might completely change your editing career. And honestly, they already sent me their feedback. I'll post their response on my Twitter account. Just find link in the description and check it. So thank you so much for the watching. See you in the next video. Bye.